Hi everyone.
Greetings everyone.
We're coming to you from sunny Portland. Like, I lived in Washington State for a couple of years, and I was surprised that it rained almost every single day, and it was only sunny for the month of July. And so we're here the end of April, and it's 70 degrees out. Everything's green. It's so beautiful.
I think it's 80 degrees actually. I feel like we're in Southern California, and we're at Bruce's house, which is called
Bruce Bartlett.
It's the White Oak Center, and he has this exquisite backyard full of diverse wildlife and trees. The trees here are just absolutely gorgeous, and we feel so blessed to be here at this time of year because it's so amazing. And we're excited to be in Portland because we are at a Matt Kahn conference.
And if you don't know who Matt Kahn is, go look him up on YouTube. He's a YouTube sensation. But he was one of my first spiritual teachers, and I had the pleasure of getting to meet him in Utah when there was only 10 people in the room, and now there's 300. And he has millions and millions of viewers. And his main message is about whatever's coming up inside of you, love that. And so we've been immersed in that for 2 days. And the point of these videos that we like to bring to you every day is that in order for you to live tantrically, for you to have tantra in your soul, then it's these everyday practices. It's coming back to those deep parts inside of yourself and really being able to breathe and look at them and be with them, and then you can start living tantrically every day. And so one of the main things that Matt was talking about last night was about our breath. And the breath is so important. And like, if you look at Buddha's teachings and you go back to Siddhartha, like what he found when he was sitting under the tree is he just breathed the in-breath, the out-breath, the in-breath, the out-breath, and stayed with that until he became enlightened. And if you look at Tilopa, that is from our lineage of Tantra and Mahamudra, then he was just this crazy Buddha, and he only had 3 students, and they ended up being 3 of the most famous Buddhas in the whole world, one of them being Naropa. And we've had the pleasure of getting to teach at Naropa University, but the beauty that he talks about is just coming back to this moment, to this breath. And if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, then that's the same thing. The very first lesson that Shiva's giving to Shakti is about notice the in-breath, notice the out-breath. And so Matt was talking about, how do you know what presence is? Like, what's presence? And if you start thinking, am I being present? Then you're in your mind. And so then there's no way to be here. He says, but if you just concentrate on between this breath and the next breath, that's presence. And there's nothing wrong in that moment. And for someone that comes from an abuse and a trauma background, one of my biggest journeys on this life path is to feel safe in my body. And if you can just concentrate and be right now, and one of the questions that he asked was, how about, what do you do in your daily life? As you go and meet someone, do you say, hey, how was your day? Or do you say, how is your day? And so it's really bringing you back to what's happening right now. So I'm going to invite all of you, wherever you are, close your eyes for a moment and just see how deeply intrigued and entranced you can be with your breath, just from inhale to exhale and from exhale to inhale. And let's just do that for 3 or 4 breaths and see how deeply you can feel that.
Notice a difference.
All of life exists right here. And the more that you can come back to just what's happening right now in this breath, the more you can feel like, wow, I'm really okay. It's when you're getting lost in the stories from the past, or you're afraid of carrying over that pain into the future, or not being able to hold on to a relationship, or not being able to find that love or find that job, or whatever those worries are, that they're not happening right now in this present moment. And it's often pain from the past or fear of the future. Hi, Joy. I love you.
What I loved is the tenderness meditation, where we dove into how tenderly can we hold ourselves in this moment. And he basically ran us through an exercise of course, relaxing our body first, but then holding ourselves as lightly and tenderly as possible. So if any thoughts come up of like, oh, I'm not doing this right, or
there's something wrong with me.
There's something wrong with me. I'm not rich enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. Whatever it is you feel like you're not enough, go back to your breath and just feel yourself from that spot of being tender and gentle, and relaxing those mental cognitions of you not being enough or that you're not doing something right.
And what are the parts of you that you feel are unlovable or unspeakable, or that if you really took out and opened up your heart and showed that piece to someone, that there's no way that they would still be standing there? And those are the pieces that are calling so deeply within your soul to be seen and honored and loved. And we think that we want other people outside of us to love those pieces. I know I spent so much of my life just wanting to be heard and wanting to be seen because I felt like I wasn't the whole time growing up. And the more I dive into this journey, then the more I realize that's just a deep hole. Like there's Peter and no one in my life could ever see me or hear me or love me enough until I've learned to be able to see and love and hold and be with those pieces of myself. And so that's one of the grandest meditations or practices that you can do every single day, besides being with your breath, is really diving into what are those pieces that you feel are unlovable or unspeakable, that you're deeply ashamed of, that you want to hide, and then break them open and really bring them to the surface for yourself to see. And if you don't know how to love them, because there's still parts of me, I have no idea how to love. I want to, and sometimes just that intention's enough. But you can just sit there and just hold and say, wow, I really don't like this part of me, or I really wish that part wasn't me, but I'm not leaving it. I'm just going to be in this breath. I'm going to be with that peace until I can learn how to love you. I'm the one person that will never leave you. And the more that you can teach yourself that, and the more that you can actually sit in the fire, and it's being really in the fire, whatever feelings are there, it's being with them. Can I breathe it in? Can I just be in this moment with those feelings, with those parts of myself, even if you don't know how to love them yet?
Define being in the fire.
It's being in those feelings that want to burn you up. For me, it really feels like there's something inside of me burning me, like I am going to be annihilated when I really dive into those feelings. For a while it was tears. Now it's just this desire to be wanted. Like there's this deep, 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 deep desire inside of me to be wanted like no one's ever been wanted. And I keep thinking that it has to do with Peter or a lover or someone outside of me, and it doesn't. And so when I go into that meditation these days, that's my edge, is can I just sit and be with that longing to be wanted? Because I have no idea how to want myself the way that I long to be wanted. And sometimes I don't even love that part of me. But it's being able to just sit there and burn in that fire of that desire to be wanted, and that desire for someone else to show me that I am wanted, and be able to just sit and be with that with me until the day that I'll finally want myself. And that's the piece, is that you don't know. None of us have any idea when that day is going to come, and when we actually really truly see the grandness, the greatness, the beauty that's deep inside of us. But you can have glimpses, and you can have moments of really allowing yourself to trust you, that no matter where you are, and no matter what place or timeline along your path that you are, you can love you, and you can be with you. And it starts with your breath, and it goes into tenderness, and that your desire and your intent to never abandon yourself. And then one of Matt's meditations, and something that I do every day now, is just sitting and holding me. When I go to those deep, deep places, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's an hour, however much time I offer myself, then close your eyes, feel into those places that feel unlovable, and just hold you and say, I love you. And I invite you to try this at home and just repeat with me, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And the deeper that you get in contact with those pieces that you have no idea how to love, then the less foreign it will feel as you really start diving into, I love you. Because I promise you that just as much as every single part inside of me deserves to be loved, it's the same with every single part inside of you. So if there's one daily practice that we can offer, it's really learning to love and be with all those parts of you. Anything you want to add, honey?
I think I'm going to leave it there. It was beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
And we love all of you. And that's another gift, is as you truly learn to receive and accept that love from yourself, then you can start receiving and accepting the love from all the people around you that have been longing to offer you that love. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to talk about blame. Matt dove into blame on the first day, and it was really profound. And I don't want to go into it now, but tomorrow we'll deconstruct blame and how it affects your life tremendously, and how when you stop blaming, it can alleviate so much stuck energy that's locked inside of your body, and you really can start living from a different perspective. So we'll dive into that tomorrow, okay?
Thanks for joining us today. We love you so much.
Okay, bye.